Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and in this video we'll be continuing the project Facebook clone which we did in the last lecture. So in the last lecture we did the login header and the login page. We did the complete login page and we actually logged in the user using Firebase. We made the project, we cleaned the project, and we did all the initial state stuff, and we also completed the login page. So in this video we'll be making the registration page and also actually make the user register using Firebase. So then let's get started. So first, open your favorite text editor. My preference is Visual Studio Code as always. If you haven't watched my previous lecture, go ahead and watch that first in order for you to understand this. Because in my last lecture, I explained about the files and the number of files and what is the step-by-step procedure for doing in this project. As you can see, these are my files from the last lecture, and this is what we have done so far. We have created the login header, we have done the login component as well. Now let's start the project first. So the project is getting initialized and it will redirect us to the web. I have discussed in brief in the last lecture about npm and how to install, what are the prerequisites or what are the pre-directories to be installed in npm, the node modules. So go ahead and watch that video if you did not watch it. So I'll show you what we have done so far. So this is the default route. So this is the slash route. If you type in slash, the same route exists. But if you type slash login, this comes up. So Facebook, we have did the login header, we did the form. We did not do the registration page. Actually, we did not do this slash register, which we'll be doing in this video. So we'll immediately get started. So first, open your editor and make two files. The first file is register header.js and register header.css. So as of now, register header.js and register header.css. And in app.js, import register header from register header.js and save it and create a new route. The name of the route is slash register. Path is equal to slash register, and what I'm basically saying is whenever I type in slash register, it should render the following components. The component over here is register header. Perfect. And go to register header.js right now and type in RFCE. If you have watched the last video, you know the power of RFCE and how did I get RFCE. So it's basically an extension in Visual Studio Code which can be installed by you, basic Babel ES6 or ES7 snippets and React Redux snippets too. So I'll just show you. So these are the two extensions, this one and this one. So now give this div a class name of header. And inside this div, let's make another div which is header left. And inside this div, I need a link. And before I use a link, I need to import the link. I will import the link from React Router DOM. I installed this in the last lecture. And I'll use a link now. Link 2 is equal to slash. So whenever I click anything below the link, it should redirect me to the slash route. So what is inside the link? There is an image. What is that image? Quickly, let's go to login header.js and let's copy the URL of the logo. Go back and paste. I did not copy the full URL, so let me copy this whole URL and paste it. Now alt is equal to Facebook logo, and let's give it a class name of header logo. Nice. Now let's make a div which is class name header right. So what I'm basically doing is, let me show you the final outcome, which is so this is the final outcome. This is the login page and this is the register page. So what I'm basically doing is, this is the left hand side. Let me draw real quick. This is the left hand side And this is the right hand side. Basically that is it. So this is the left hand side. I'm just saying that over there. So the left hand side, under this div I have an image. So under the right hand side I will have a form. So let me close screen brush. And inside that, let's create a form right now. And inside this form we need some inputs. And input type is equal to email. So we are asking email. Placeholder is equal to email. And that's it. And the next input is input type is equal to password. Placeholder is equal to password. That's basically it for password as well. Now, what we need to do is create a button on click. So let's define on click later, but for now type is equal to submit, and class name is equal to header submit. So that's basically it. Log in. So that is it. Now let's style this whole page. Let's go to register header.css, and before that let's import register header.css. So that is basically it. Now let's go to register header.css. Did I give the spelling wrong? No, it's correct. Let's go to register header.css, and actually I missed the slash. Now let's save it, and let's go to register header.css, and inside register header.css I need a header, display, flex, and align items to the center, and background color, as you know, it is the Facebook blue 3F5D9A. This is the Facebook blue. Justify content, space between. The space between is the magic. So it is giving me the space between the left hand side and the right hand side. So now let's style the header logo. Let's give it a height of 78 pixels. Object fit, contain, and margin left 20 pixels. Margin top 10 pixels. Now let's check our website. Now let's go to our app and type in /register. So this is what we have done so far. It's not that impressive. If you see, these are the text boxes. Now let's style the inputs. I also forgot to give the inputs class names. So let's go to register header.css and give it class name. Class name is equal to header input 2 or 1, and this will have a class name is equal to header input 2. So this is basically it for register header. Now let's use this class name over here. Dot header input 1. Did I mention header? Yes. Header input 1 will have a width of 149 pixels and height of 20 pixels and margin right 15 pixels and margin top 5 pixels. Now dot header input 2, let's style this, and let's give it a width of 149 pixels and height of 20 pixels, margin right of 17 pixels and margin top of 5 pixels. Now let's check the website. It's not that good, but we just gave it spacing, width and height. Now let's style the button. Header button, and give it a width of 60 pixels and give it a height of 25 pixels. Then background color of 587 DC8. That's a Facebook bluish tone again. Border none. I explained why border none in the previous video. Small adjustments make a big difference in actual web development. Display inline. So I want the form to be inline. Font weight 600. Font weight is 600 and margin right is 234 pixels. Now let's see the button. We are not able to see the button, but we'll make sure we can see that in a minute. When I click this div, inside the header left there is header right. That is a very big mistake. So let's remove this, and after that link we have to paste it over there. Now let's check the website again and see that is good. We have the form, we have the password, we have the submit button, and that is styled very nice. So afterwards, now let's do the register.js. Go to app.js and import register from register.js. So we did not create the file yet, but we'll be creating it. Now go to src, new file, register.js. Perfect. And another file, register.css. And inside register type in rfce and import register.css. Okay, we are done with creating files for register.js and register.css. So first you have to give it a class name of register. Then inside that div we need another div, a class name of register container. And inside that div we need a h1 tag, create a new account. And after this h1 tag we need a h3 tag. It's quick and easy. So it's basically just like a Facebook website. And after this h3 tag we need a form, and inside that form we need a center tag. Inside the center tag there is an input, type is equal to name, and placeholder is equal to first name. Okay, we are done with the first input. Then the second input is input type is equal to name again, but this time the placeholder is last name. Perfect. Now we need to give these class names. The first one, give it a class name, register name. Even for the second one, give it a class name of register name. So basic typos, let me rectify it. Perfect. Now the input tags are done. Create another center tag, and inside the center tag we need another input. Input type is equal to email, placeholder is equal to email as well. Then let's give it a class name. We don't need a class name for this. And after that we need another center tag, and inside this center tag we need an input for the password. Input type is equal to password. Perfect. And give it we don't need a class name, but we need a placeholder of password as well. Perfect. Now we don't need another center tag, but we need a h5 tag with a class name and a class name of register date of birth. So we are not doing anything with date of birth. I am just replicating Facebook. That's why I was keeping date of birth. It doesn't matter which date of birth you keep. So now you need some huge code. I'll show you that code. Let me go to I am providing this file in my website. Be sure to go to my website decacode73.com. Now let me open this txt. So in this txt we have this huge piece of code. So this is basically, we can select from years 1905 to 2020 and days and months. So that is the code. I cannot type this much of code because time does not permit us. So next, paste this code, go to my website for the code, and after pasting that, we'll be also making the gender tab, the gender radio tab, male, female, or other, 3 tabs basically, and create a h5 tab and give it a class name. A class name of register, gender, and gender. Perfect. And div class name, another div. Class name is equal to register radio container. Inside this radio, we have an input. Input type is equal to radio, and name is equal to gender. Value is equal to male. That's easy. And a label, male. Perfect. Let's copy and paste this twice. 1, 2. And let's replace this female and other, female and other. That is perfect. Now let's go to the p tag. Class name. Class name is equal to, actually that's a policy, register policy. So that policy is just by clicking this, you agree to all of that stuff is inside this. By clicking sign up, you agree to our, so that's a space, and we need a span because the text inside this needs to be in blue terms. You'll understand this in a second. Policy and another span, and inside the span cookie, policy and you may receive SMS notifications from us and can opt out at any time. That's long text. So now, after the p tag is complete, let's make another center tag. And inside this center tag, we have a button, and type is equal to submit, and class name is equal to register. Perfect. And let's close this. Now the center tag has ended as well, and that is it. Now let's see the website. So I think we haven't rendered anything. Let's go to app.js and render the register component. Let's go over here and see this. This is nothing with style. So let's add some style and let's watch again. So this is nothing with style. We are going to create this website into something like this. So are you ready? Then let's go into the next module. So welcome to the next module. In this, let's style this. Go to your text editor and go to register.css. And inside register.css first, register. So register. Background color is E9EBEE. So basically that is the background color, a grayish tone. Height of 100 view height. Display, flex, and flex direction, column, and align items to the center. So let's see the website now. That's partially okay. Now register container, width of 612 pixels, height of 372 pixels, and display flex and padding 20 pixels. Background color is E9EBEE. So that's a grayish tone as well. Next we need flex direction, column. Perfect. Now let's see the website again, and that's good. Let's continue. Register container, and inside that is a h1. For that I need a font weight of 630, and I need a font size of 40 pixels, and I need a margin bottom of 10 pixels and text align to the center. Next, inside the container, I need a h3 and font weight of 330, color black, font size 25 pixels, then margin bottom 20 pixels, margin left 107 pixels. Now let's see the website again. Now these two are very good. Now let's style the inputs. So I got some few tips for you here: container, form, center, and input. So inside this we need a height of 33 pixels and margin bottom 10 pixels. Perfect. Margin left of 10 pixels, and background color of white, and width 396 pixels. I actually typed 296, it's 396, and after that I need a border. 0.5 pixels is enough, I guess so. Let's check it out and let's change it then. Now let's check the website. See, the inputs, they're not very good, but they're okay for now. Now what we need to do is copy this. What I'm actually doing right now is the first name over here is quite small. If you go to the website, see this first name is quite big. We need to do that, and the process, this is a quick tip, pro tip, and WebKit input placeholder. This is it. So this will change my settings for the placeholder. I need a font size of 22 pixels, a color RGB 170, 170, 170, or basically white. Graystone, padding left 10 pixels, padding top 40 pixels. Now I need register. So this is the button. Background color is the greenish tone as in the last lecture, 4B, and border none, I told you why. And after that, width of 186 pixels and a height of 38 pixels and a border radius of 3 pixels and border 1 pixel, solid RGB. It's a green 59111034. That's perfect. And I typed it wrong. Border, perfect. Now color white, of course, and font size 17 pixels, font weight 700. Now let's check the website. That is good. As you can see, we are getting the blue border. The font is good, everything is good. Now we need to do the register name. That's quite simple. Display, not inline, flex, color RGB of 144, 148. And by the way guys, next class is going to get much complicated with Firebase. So I'm going to explain everything from scratch, don't worry, but be prepared for it. You will catch it up, but don't be impatient, so you can learn it. So I'll teach you from scratch, you will understand it and try to grasp the syntax. So don't be impatient and learn patiently in the next class, because it's going to get quite complicated, because we are doing the home page. The home page we are able to post, we are able to upload, we are able to comment. So that is going to get a little complicated. So I just want to say that don't be impatient. So let's go to font size, register name, font size with 20 pixels. And sorry, I actually thought we were doing register gender. So let's keep the height 36 pixels, not important. So this is another quick tip. So not important, in the above paragraph over here, which is for the input, we assigned the height as 33 pixels, but now we are assigning as 36 pixels. Now HTML, the CSS has to pick which height. That is the question. It will naturally pick this one. So I'm telling it to pick not important. So it's not important, it is important. This exclamatory is I wanted, that is important. So height 36 pixels. Now we need margin bottom and 10 pixels and background color white and a typo over here. And after background color is white, I need the width 193 pixels. Important, so you know the reason why. Next I need a border 0.5 pixels solid gray. You can also check this course in my website. Go to decalcode73.com. You can also check that over there and give it margin left 10 pixels. Perfect. Border radius 4 pixels. Perfect. Now let's go to the website. Now that is good. See, these two are in a row and these two are in a row as well, but these two are having equal spaces and we got this in a line. After that, let's style this. Date of birth. Now first, gender. Register. Gender. Inside register gender, it's display flex. Register flex, color RGB 144, 148, 156. That is a graystone. Font size 18 pixels and margin left 110 pixels. Now let's go back. Not very good. Now let's continue. Register date to, and for this I need a height of 28 pixels. Width of 70 pixels and margin left of 110 pixels. Next, margin top 10 pixels, margin bottom 10 pixels, and date 2 is complete. Now let's check it out. It's quite good. Dot register date 3. Let's give it the same styling, but a line changed, and that line is we need to give it a top is 10 pixels and we need to take off the margin left. That is basically it. Now let's see that. This is good. Now dot register date, and for the date we need display flex, color RGB 144, 148 and 156, a graystone. Once you get used to CSS, you will remember the color RGBs and everything. 18 pixels and margin left 110 pixels. Perfect. Now let's see this. Date of birth is good as well. Now let's do the labels. Dot register container and form and dot register radio container actually. Dot register radio container, and inside that there's a label. Perfect. Margin top 10 pixels and margin bottom 10 pixels and margin right 30 pixels and font size 18 pixels and margin left 6 pixels. Now let's see this. It's quite good. See the radios. So for the radio container, let's copy this. That is it. Now font size is 110 pixels. No, sorry. Margin left is 110 pixels. Margin left is 110 pixels. And margin top is 10 pixels. And margin bottom is 20 pixels. Perfect. Now let's go and see that. That is quite good. Now we are left with the register policy, that policy thing over there, and font size we need it to be 11 pixels. That's quite small, and the line height is 15 pixels. Font family is this one, Arial Helvetica Sans Serif. Color is a grayish tone, and then font weight is 400, and then max width 300 pixels, and margin left 110 pixels, margin bottom 20 pixels. Let's take a semicolon over there. Let's see now. See, this is quite good, but right now we did the span tag, right? For that span tag we need a blue color. So for that, register policy span. Just change the color, that is it. 56, 148, 207. We are done with the styling, and we have done something wrong, and that is we have not mentioned the label for this button. What is the label? It is of course register. Now let's check it out. Reload it, and see, this is quite good. So we are done with the styling of the register page as well. Now what we'll do is integrate Firebase and actually register the user into Firebase. Now let's go to Firebase, console.firebase.google.com, and the project Facebook clone 2, I have named the project as such. Now go to authentication. We have did the setup for Firebase in the last lecture. If you did not follow that, this is not the right place. Just go to the last video. We don't have any users for this project yet. Now we'll see how to register the user, and we also did login in the last class, right? So we can log in the user easily. So now let's go to the text editor and let's start doing the backend. So first, import Firebase or import auth from firebae.js. That's a file we have created in the last class. So now what you need to do is go scroll down, and for this there's a typo over there, and on click is equal to register. Now let's create the register function. Go over here, const history. I told you what is const history in the last class. I'll tell you again. This const history is just, it will help you redirect you to another page. So we are using history after registration is completed. We want to send the user to the login page after registration is completed. So we want to send the user to the login page. And for using history, we need to import use history from React Rotterdam. Perfect. That's enough, and we need to create some variables. First name. These are called state variables. I explained them briefly in the last lecture. Use state. So by default is this null or just empty. Next we need the last name. Set last name. Use state, and don't forget to import use state. Perfect. And then make some variables for email. And make a variable for password. In the last video I showed you how to use these variables. I'll show you even now. So go down, and over here on change, it will return us an event, and we have to set the first name to e.target.value. So e.target.value is the target value, and this is the code. Now go down, copy this and this. That's it. Perfect. Now what you need to change is set last name, and go down, and here email, what you need to change over here is set email, go down, paste it. What you need to change is set password. That is it. We'll not be taking considering the days and everything, not required. Now let's create a function. The function name is register is equal to, it will return as an event dot prevent default. It will prevent us from reloading. So whenever the form is submitted, it will not reload, the page will not reload. Basically that is the meaning. Now you'll be using auth dot, see there's one word. This is the beauty of or the magic of Firebase. Only one word. Create user with email and password, provide the email just like over here, the variable email, and provide the password, the variable password. So after creating the user dot, then what should you do? It will return us an auth. If you want to know what is this auth, just visit the last lecture. And if auth.user, and inside the auth there's another object called as user. Now inside the user there will be your details such as display name, your full name, and your email. So for now we have the email, but we don't have the display name. The user has provided with the first name and last name. Now what will we do with this? We'll create a variable called full name, which is the concatenation of first name plus last name, that is the full name, and we'll update the profile in Firebase. Now how to update it? Auth.user.update profile. Basically that is it. Now auth.user.update profile is done. Sorry, I'm typing it again. Now I need to change the display name to what? First name, plus space plus last name. It is that easy. Don't provide the semicolon, it will trace an error for some reason, I don't know. Dot, then what should you do? You should push the user to the home page. If it is unsuccessful, what if the creating or signing up process is unsuccessful? Then what you need to do is return an error event, and inside this I have some code over here. So I'm basically saying this. So I'll explain this in a minute. You have that file in my website. So what it is doing is, if the error message, e.message is the error message, if the error message is the password is invalid or the user does not have a password, actually what I need to do over here is cut this. I don't need this over here. Actually, I wrote that code for the login page and I misplaced it over here. So just alert the error message. In most cases, the error message will not occur, so don't worry. So this is for registration page. Now let's go to login.js. Now paste this code over here. So this is required. What this is basically saying is, if the error message is the password is invalid or the user does not have a password, that is a lengthy string. How can a person understand that? Yeah, a person can understand the statement, the password is invalid or the user does not have a password, but I want to make it more short, and I'm alerting, please check your credentials again. A short sentence. Else if error message is there is no user record corresponding to this identifier, the user may have been deleted. How can a person understand this except a web developer? There is no user record corresponding to this identifier. So that's why what I'm doing over here is I'm pushing the user to /register, or from login page it will go to the register page, and over there I'm telling it to scroll to the bottom of the page. I'll show you the demonstration of that in a minute. So we are done. We are done with registration page, or we are done with login page. Now let's check it out. Go to the React app, reload it. So this is the registration, and before that I want to go to /login because I want to show you that error messages. So let me create something, some fancy email and some wrong password, and login. See this? It has taken me to /register and it has scrolled to the bottom. Do you know why? Because I have written the code, there is no user record corresponding. Because the error message is this, there is no user. So there is no user. Now I'm pushing the user to /register and I'm scrolling the page to the bottom for the user to be registered. Now let's go to /login again. No, first I'll create my account of my own, and my name is Ritvik. route to iamritik6@gmail.com. Password, sorry. Now date of birth 2nd Jan 2008. Mail, register. Now let's see what we are successfully signed in. Now let us go to Firebase and refresh this page. As you can see over here, there is a new user, iamritik6, and I think we also have the credentials. So now let's log in. So I'll show you how to log out in the next video, but for now let's log in first. iamritik6@gmail.com. I'm logging in because I have provided a statement in login.js, which is console.log. I'm actually logging in the user's credentials. So I'm just logging in, and now let's see the credentials, not the password, all the other stuff. So see, there's an object, and inside the object there's a user, and inside the user there's a display name Ritvik Rautu as we updated the profile, and email iamritik6@gmail.com. There are many other parameters which you can update while signing up, such as email verified false, because at present email verified is false, so we have to update it later. Phone number is null. If you ask the user for the phone number, you can update it later as well. So this is how you update your profile, and there is also a user ID. So this is how you update user profiles in Firebase, and these are all the information. The backend stuff is all done with Firebase, and within snaps we were able to create a user in Firebase. If it's in another programming language, you would know the scene. It would be a big process. You have to send the data to the database, and you have to retrieve the data from the database in order to check your credentials. There's a lot of process in PHP and other programming languages as well. So in Firebase, it is within snaps. So in this video, we did the register page. I'll show you in a minute. So this is the login page. We did this. This is the register page. We also did this using the backends. In the next video, I'll show you how to do the home page, and that is going to get a little complicated because we are doing the like system, comment system, and also the image upload. So we have to do the styling, and lots of stuff is there in the next video. So stay tuned, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And also to mention, please visit my website decacode73.com and enroll in my course. You can watch these videos over there, and if you are already over here, well and good. Then if you are not enrolled, please enroll over there as well. I have made it with a lot of effort, so be sure to check that website as well. In the next video, we'll also be doing another thing, which is if you go to / right now, this is the real website. I did the home page as well. So it is redirecting me to login. Why? Because I'm not logged in. So we'll be doing that as well. If the user is not logged in, then what should we do? We should actually send him back to the login page. We are going to do that as well. We are going to implement the logout feature as well in the next video. So stay tuned, and that's it for this time, and let's meet in the next video.